He was a billionaire who lost something very important. It could have cost him a lot, but a female construction worker found it and gave it back, without knowing who he was. Why would someone return something so valuable? And how did that one act change both their lives forever? Sit back and find out as we dive into the story of how a billionaire respected and appreciated a female construction worker who helped him in distress. You're welcome to Classic Tales by Dorothy. In the heart of Lagos lived a young woman named Susan. She was 28 years old. Susan tightened her headscarf and laced up her boots. The sun had not yet risen, but she was already walking to the construction site at Victoria Island, a massive new high-rise project called the Emerald Tower. She was one of the few women on the site. Most men scoffed at her presence, others ignored her. But Susan had no time for anyone's validation or approval. She had mouths to feed, a younger brother in the university, her younger sister in secondary school, and also needed to assist her mother. She also had a goal to chase, which was to one day lead her own construction firm. Growing up in Ajangunal, Susan was determined to break out of poverty. After losing her father while in secondary school, life became tough. Her mother had a small shop in the market where she was selling vegetables. Every day, when Susan returned from school, she would go to the market and help her mother sell vegetables. During the weekend, she would tutor her neighbors' children for a small fee. She had learned to study at night. Her dream of becoming an engineer felt far, but she held on. Thereafter, she gained admission into Yaba College of Technology to study civil engineering. It wasn't easy for her family to pay her school fees. Susan helped her mother by working part-time at construction sites. During the weekends, she would walk to the dusty construction site down the road. Susan carried blocks on her head, mixed cement with shovel, and pushed wheelbarrows full of sand without a single complaint. Susan would sweat under the hot sun, earning money the hard way. Indeed, life was not fair to her and her family. But she never lost focus, not even once. Her lecturers called her Quiet Fire. She was smart, focused, and humble. In the end, she graduated with distinction. After her graduation from school and youth service program, jobs didn't come. So, when Susan saw an opening at a construction site, she took it, even if it meant sweating under the sun. Working in construction sites had become a passion for her. Meanwhile, Jason Matthews, a 36-year-old billionaire and CEO of Jason Developments, had just returned to Nigeria after 15 years abroad. He was from Nigeria but had become an American citizen. After years of building luxury properties in cities like Dubai and New York, he wanted to invest in his father's land, Lagos. He had just started a new project known as the Emerald Tower, but things weren't going as planned. There were construction delays and poor management. So Jason decided to visit the site himself undercover. Wearing jeans and a plain polo, he blended in like any other supervisor at the site. Then one day, he noticed her. She was supervising the workers. She was giving orders, correcting errors, and even sketching diagrams on scrap paper. She had no title, yet everyone listened to her. "Who's that?" Jason asked one of the workers. "That's Susan. She's not the engineer, but she might as well be." Day after day, Jason returned, and every day, he saw Susan as she led the team. No show-off and no drama. She was just after achieving results. Jason continued to look out for Susan. He watched her for hours. She was sharp, strategic, and fierce. On a particular day, he returned to the site. He decided to have a conversation with Susan. This time, he asked her questions directly. "Why is the steel beam delivery delayed?" She narrowed her eyes. "Who wants to know?" He smiled. "Let's just say I'm interested in how this site works. Then maybe start by grabbing a shovel," she replied dryly, and walked off. Jason chuckled. Susan was a bold lady and he liked her already. For 2 weeks, Jason kept visiting the site still under disguise. And every time, Susan stood out. Not just as a hard worker, but as a natural leader. She had ideas on how to optimize workflow, reduce material waste, and even keep morale high. Jason would watch her do her job very meticulously. He was impressed. One day, Jason misplaced something important: his wallet. The wallet had fallen off from his trousers pocket while he was inspecting the site. He searched everywhere but could not find it. That wallet had everything: important business cards, his driver's license, and other important ID cards. He was frustrated. "I've checked the entire site," he muttered. "It's gone." He asked everyone on the site if they had seen his wallet, but nobody had seen it. Later that afternoon, Susan walked up to him, holding the dusty wallet. "I found this near the scaffolding," she said. Jason's eyes lit up. "You have no idea how much this means to me. I overheard when you asked people about it, and when I saw it, I figured it out that it was the same wallet you were searching for," she replied. From that moment, something changed. Jason started seeing more than just a hard-working woman. He saw someone trustworthy, someone rare. 2 days later, he invited Susan to dinner. Just one meal, he smiled, to say thank you. They went to a restaurant not far from the site. Nothing fancy, but over rice and fried plantain, they talked about dreams, family, and life. Then Jason said, "I'm Jason Cole, the owner of this project." Susan froze. "Wait, you're the boss? How? That's hard to believe." He nodded. "And I've been watching you, not to judge but to learn." She stood disappointed. "So, you've been pretending all along?" Jason calmly replied, "I had to see the real people behind the hard hats. And I saw a star. I also did that because I need to pick the best hands from this project to join me in my next project." He leaned forward. "I want you to lead my next project. A mid-rise estate in Lekki. You'll be in charge." Susan was stunned. "Me?" "Yes, you. But there are better qualified people than me. I've watched you work on this particular project for a while, and I know that you are capable." "I'm confident about that," Jason responded. Susan went home with a heart full of questions. Could she really do it? What if she failed? Then something happened that melted her heart. That evening, her younger sister, Amara, slipped a hand-drawn card under her pillow. It had a stick figure of Susan wearing a yellow helmet. Above it, Amara had written in big letters, "You are my superhero. I want to be like you when I grow up." Tears filled Susan's eyes. That simple card from her younger sister reminded her why she was focused and hard-working. It was for her siblings and mom, for hope and possibly a change of status for her family. The next day, she accepted Jason's offer. The Lekki Sunrise Project was born, and it was a great one. For the first time, a woman from the trenches was leading a major real estate development. The media buzzed. Headlines of major newspapers read, "Iron Lady leads Lekki project with heart and excellence." Social media exploded. Some critics said Susan would fail, but she didn't. She did an amazing and excellent job. Under her leadership, the site ran ahead of schedule and under budget. Local vendors were prioritized. Women were recruited and trained. The housing design included eco-friendly features and affordable units for lower-income families. And every time Jason visited, he watched with quiet pride as Susan stood tall in her reflective vest, blueprint in hand, voice calm, commanding and focused on the job. By the time the project was complete, Susan had become a household name. Thereafter, Jason offered her a permanent role as a partner in Jason's developments. But Susan smiled and said, "Thank you, but I'm starting my own firm, Phenomenal Lady Builders, and we're going to change this city." Jason laughed out of excitement. "I'm so proud of you. I'll be your first client." With Jason's full support and amazing clients, her firm grew. Susan bought a new house and moved her family into a better home in the Lekki axis. She paid off her siblings' education and set her mother up with a thriving supermarket. Her mother had started looking younger and more beautiful. Susan was glad that their status had changed. Jason was always there, quietly watching her shine. One day, after another successful project milestone, Jason invited her to a cozy rooftop restaurant. "I've been thinking," he said, "not just about buildings or business, but about you." Susan looked up. "I've seen how you work, how you love your family, how you carry yourself with grace." "Susan, I'm not just offering another project. I desire a future with you." He took a small box from his pocket. "I'm asking if you'll build life with me. Will you marry me?" Susan gasped. "Are you serious?" "As serious as bricks and cement," he smiled. After a long pause, with laughter, shock, and a few happy tears, she nodded. "Yes, yes, I will." Their wedding was beautiful, simple, joyful, and full of love. Susan looked stunning in her white dress. Her groom couldn't stop smiling and admiring her. Family and friends danced, ate, and celebrated with them. But the most beautiful part was the joy in Susan's eyes. She had finally stepped into the life she never thought she would have. But even with success, Susan never forgot her roots. 2 months after her wedding, she visited Yabatek to mentor young girls. She told them, "Don't let anyone tell you what you can do. Stay focused, stay kind, and never be afraid to start from a humble beginning while chasing your dreams. Don't be ashamed to start small. Always remember that every great journey begins with a simple step." And so, the girl who once carried cement on her back and head now carried blueprints, big contracts, and a whole lot of inspiration. Because the ones at the bottom of the ladder are capable of rising to the top. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Until the next video, stay uplifted.